Is the president aware that the most popular leader of Pakistan, Imran Khan, has been in jail now for last 3 years, and lots of atrocities has happened? But is the president at all interested in paying a little attention to Pakistan beside this?
I will answer that, noting that in his address to Congress, the president announced the arrest of an ISIS-K operative and planner responsible for the deaths, as I mentioned earlier today, of the 13 brave American service members and over 160 Afghans at Abbey Gate, that he is now in custody. And we extend our gratitude to the government of Pakistan. We do, for their partnership in bringing Mohammed Sharifullah to justice. We would also now refer you, for those who want more information, to the Department of Justice for further information regarding his case. We have, regarding Pakistan and the nature of our relationship, we have a common interest, obviously, in fighting terrorism. And the arrest of this terrorist also illustrated that U.S.-Pakistan cooperation on counterterrorism remains vitally important. So thank you, sir. Our speed with which some of these things are happening. That mistakes are corrected. There was one.
Okay.
It was corrected, and that's certainly not going to happen again. That's what I can pledge to you.
Okay.
I do know, and as everyone learned on that day, that the data matters, which is why I'm not going to stand here and guess, that the facts of the matter matter. And we're determined, I am determined in this role. This is not just a first day for me, but also for the department, to see the nature as a reminder of what you're all interested in and what we have to speak to. And I appreciate that. But yeah, it's everything's a learning curve.
Yes.
But at that point, of course, that's a significant difference. And let's just say it's not going to happen again.
Thank
you, sir. Yes, Rich.
Hi, Tim.
Fox News. We all know that, right?
Here,
Yes.
you have to introduce yourself.
So Rich Edson with Fox
That's
News.
right.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you.
Thank you. In the back. Yes, sir. Behind you.
Thank you very much, Tammy. Jaleel Afridi from the Frontier Post.
Hello, sir. Nice to meet you.
First, I want to say a quick thank you to the president. I have not seen any journalists saying thank you to him in 2020 during the corona days. I was one of the affectees as well who spent many months in the hospital. And the
I'm glad
stimulus
you're here.
checks were amazing, and many journalists took advantage of it. My first question is, did anybody from the U.S. administration say thank you to Pakistan on official level regarding this new arrest? And second, is the president aware that the most popular leader of Pakistan, Imran Khan, has been in jail now for last 3 years, and lots of atrocities has happened? But is the president at all interested in paying a little attention to Pakistan beside this?
I will answer that, noting that in his address to Congress, the president announced the arrest of an ISIS-K operative and planner responsible for the deaths, as I mentioned earlier today, of the 13 brave American service members and over 160 Afghans at Abbey Gate, that he is now in custody. And we extend our gratitude to the government of Pakistan. We do, for their partnership in bringing Mohammed Sharifullah to justice. We would also now refer you, for those who want more information, to the Department of Justice for further information regarding his case. We have, regarding Pakistan and the nature of our relationship, we have a common interest, obviously, in fighting terrorism. And the arrest of this terrorist also illustrated that U.S.-Pakistan cooperation on counterterrorism remains vitally important. So thank you, sir. All right, so now, Andrea, we'll move on here.
Thank you very much, and thank you and welcome. And I think all of us are very grateful that the briefings are starting and that you were
Good.
this
I
role.
hope to. I won't always I hope my goal is to make you all happy. Of course, that will be impossible. And I appreciate your patience with me today, as I'm learning clearly the depth. This room, we've got an overflow room. We have, I don't want to say any numbers. I've just remember, I pledge not to give you numbers. But it's a remarkable thing. The American people care about foreign policy. They care about national policy. And your career in particular has kind of taught Americans that this information.
Tammy,
on this USAID investigation, Peter Morocco has been on Capitol Hill over the past couple of days, briefing members of Congress and updating them on this, where he told them that they have uncovered waste, fraud, and abuse to a level that would require referrals to the Department of Justice for investigation. Can you provide any specific examples of illegal wrongdoing, or what the department believes is illegal wrongdoing at USAID?
Well, obviously, and this is my first chance to say of what I can't comment on, which is, in general, certainly any possible litigation, the nature of negotiations or contemplations regarding action that the government might take, certainly not only because I've not been in the room, but it's because you've got, whether it's diplomatic conversations or issues of determining what we might do and what might not do. It also goes into hypotheticals. So no, I can't answer that. What I can say, again, is that the level of what we've discovered at USAID is troubling enough to where this is the kind of conversation that is perhaps going to have to be had by the American people and even perhaps Congress. But I think at this point, when we're looking at this kind of an issue that we see through our existing investigations and inquiries, that we've clearly got some problems. And so we're determined to correct those problems. Where it ends up is going to be, of course, something we'll see in the future, but that's not something I've been involved in.
So a conversation with the American people in Congress, how about with the Department of Justice?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. But it is, the seriousness with which this is being addressed is something the American people should be happy about. It is why President Trump was elected, was to take action on the things that he campaigned on, as many people did as well. We knew something was wrong and it had to change. And this is up to, of course, to the people who are doing the investigations, whether or not any of that actually manifests. All right. Yes, Sean.
Thank you, and welcome to the podium.
Thank you.
Sean Tandon with AFP. Can I switch the topic to the Middle East? The situation.
Let me ask though. Any other questions on the USAID situation? A bunch of hands. I'm shocked. All right. We'll get back to you when we move into the Middle East. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Daphne Saladakis with Reuters.
Hi there.
You said that this is a pause, but we got answers from the State Department saying they've already cut 92% of the awards worth $54 billion. Is there any chance of those coming back? And that made it seem like the review was done. Is it done, or is the review still continuing?
Well, when you have a review, it is to assess what's happening in front of you, and then decisions are going to be made, right? So you've got a review. It's 90 days to make an assessment within that framework of what works and what doesn't work. If there were programs and if they've been cut, the answer would be is that they did not serve either American interests or make us safer, more secure, or more prosperous. So those decisions are going to be made. Clearly, some have been in the process of the review.
And are they final, and is the review complete?
Well, I think that each case may be different, but we do know that actions have been taken based on the standards that we set, that the Secretary of State has set, and we're moving forward. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Tammy. Jennifer Hansler with CNN. We've heard from groups saying that they had contracts for work that had been granted waivers by the Secretary because they were life-saving activities that were then given termination notices for the funding for those programs. Is there a review to see if these can be turned back on, and how many of these life-saving programs have been cut under these terminations?
Right. Just as a reminder, that part of what was a blanket waiver in this process in the review was, of course, we will continue to fund and continue to act on the importance of money that goes to life-saving work. Many of those programs, which again the President articulated during his address to Congress the other night, certainly did not meet that standard. So we have that blanket waiver dynamic. There are anecdotes of certain issues. We do know that if there's been a problem, that it is reversed. The Secretary is directly involved in this process of assessing the nature of what's happening and who's getting these funds. There is also a process for people to reach into the State Department to make the difference, to apply for a specific waiver, or to indicate if there's an issue and make their case for these situations. And I know the Secretary cares about the nature of foreign aid. It is something that has been, he's spoken about for years throughout also his tenure as a senator. And he is, I have to say, I did not know him well when I started in this position. And his commitment to the country and his personal involvement has been heartening. And I'm sure that in this kind of a dynamic, we've had some.
आतिश न्यूज, पाकिस्तान के सबसे बड़े न्यूज नेटवर्क का हिस्सा बनने का सुनहरी मौका। मुल्क भर से दर्ज झेल आसामियों की जरूरत है। ब्यूरो चीफ, डेप्यूटी ब्यूरो चीफ, वीडियो एडिटर, सिटी रिपोर्टर, तहसील रिपोर्टर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट रिपोर्टर, क्राइम रिपोर्टर, प्रेस रिपोर्टर, नुमाइंदा, नामह नगार। चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव सैयद जमशेद बुखारी। मजीद मालूमात के लिए इन नंबर्स पर राबिता करें।